Welcome to another episode of the Mixtape Matinee Podcast. I'm your host, Cole.
And I'm Court.
And today we have on local musician Logan Peterson.
Woo-hoo!
Thanks for being on, Logan.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah. So Logan has been in the Idaho Falls music scene for a long time. Most people will know him from his band Mantis Caravan. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Started Mantis in 2018, and
Nice.
it's still going. We're on a little hiatus right now, but
What kind of music do you make?
so we classify ourselves as like stoner doom.
Stoner Doom.
Yeah, very fuzzed out, very psychedelic. A lot of like echo effects and wah pedal, and we play in B standard, so we play very heavy,
Low and heavy, yeah. That's how I met Logan, actually.
Was through that.
Was through just playing shows and Brendan
Yep.
at the old basement. So he was
In Rexburg.
Yeah, that was like,
Wow. Back when you were For Your Health?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's when I first met Logan, and you were playing with Ryan on drums, and then I can't remember the bass player that you had.
His name was Rishi.
Rishi, that's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was super cool. I just remember like thinking like, "Whoa, this is so awesome!" Like it's definitely different music than what a lot of the bands in this area make. And I also just know like you're a massive record collector. Like there's like a lot of people that might know you on Instagram with your tag is DJ Heavy Psych King. Is that what it is? Or
Yeah, that's like my DJ name.
which a lot of people know you through that. Like I know that you're really well connected, like on the like internet wise with like the whole like
stuff.
60s and 70s rock.
Very cool.
Because there's like so much to know, and you're definitely like the expert in the area.
Well, this is my first time meeting Logan.
Yeah.
And Logan came in lugging a
record crate.
A record crate. And it's awesome looking. It's got all these awesome stickers on it. And then he was showing us some of these records. You've got some rare stuff. It sounds like.
I do. I have probably take about 7 records out of my collection that are worth up to like 40, 50,000.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
And where do you go to like, are you just constantly keeping an eye out?
Yeah, like thrift shopping, eBay, Discogs. Whenever I go like out of state, I usually try to go to record stores.
Records.
Always finding something new. That's super cool. So you said that Mantis though is on hiatus. Like, are you guys gonna get back together soon, or what's the story with that? I'm super curious. It's been a minute since you guys have played.
Yeah, it has been a minute. We haven't played since I think it was 23.
Yeah,
23. We haven't played since 23. Ryan, my drummer, he actually moved. He moved to Boise, so I'm out of a drummer right now.
Wait, is this Ryan?
this is the same one that would play with us since that
played with you and that we interviewed.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. So
Great drummer.
I'm looking for a drummer at the moment.
It's always tough
Drummers
to.
are
It's hard
tricky
to
to
find.
find.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Yeah, definitely. But are you still writing stuff and?
Yeah, a little bit. I've still been writing. It's just not as much as I used to, just with work and home life and stuff like that. But still, definitely writing.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I hope that you keep doing it, man. Because I love all the stuff that you have. Actually, have your tape up there, the Mantis Caravan tape.
Here?
Yeah,
Cole
one of the
just got a
cassettes.
new
Oh, that's awesome.
tape.
Yeah, we're
holder
starting to collect more cassettes, so I thought
Nice.
I need to have like a little shelf for that. So
right next to
on.
this Betty Davis poster that they just got.
yeah,
Dude,
Tabitha just
Betty
put that.
Davis, man.
Yeah, Tabitha just put that up.
Dude, Betty Davis rules.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's a big inspiration for us, for sure. So obviously we're talking about all these records and your love of like this music, and so that's why I wanted to have you on. And you want to tell the audience a little bit about the record that you decided to pick for this episode?
Yeah, so this record came out in 1969. It's by a group called the Edgar Broughton Band. The lead singer and guitarist of the band, his name was Edgar Broughton. They started up as like more like a blues band. They were called the Edgar Broughton Blues Band. And then there was a lot of other bands around the time that were coming out, like a band called like the Pink Fairies, the Deviants, around the same time, and there was a lot of like protests going on. And so they wanted to get away from more of that blues eccentric style and more, like jammy, like out there psychedelic style.
And this is in England, just so you guys know. They started
Yes.
in a town called Warwick.
Yes.
Eventually moved to London. But
Yes.
And they dropped the blues from their name.
Yes. And they went strictly just the Edgar Broughton Band. Drums, bass, guitar sang, which I think is the perfect way to go.
Yeah, power trio.
Power trio, always.
Yeah, that's how I do my band, is a power trio.
But this was their first album. It's called Wasa Wasa. And they cut it at EMI Studios in London. And it was recorded in 1969. And it's just, there's no other album like it that I've heard of. The writing and techniques that they use is just so unique. Very Jimi Hendrix influence with the fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh, I could
sure.
totally see that.
But like you can hear every instrument. Like the big thing is the bass for me. Like in a record, you have to hear the bass.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that Edgar, his brother's in the band. Steve, the drummer.
Yep.
So they were brothers, which is cool. And then you got Arthur Grant, who's on bass. And then later on in their career, they added another guitar player as they started making more records and stuff. But yeah, this is cool. I'm glad that you picked this album. I'd never heard of these guys before. But they definitely have their own style. The Edgar definitely is influenced by Howlin' Wolf with his vocal style. That was the first thing I noticed right off the bat.
Well, and you almost picked a Howlin' Wolf.
Yeah, and then I decided to go against that, but yeah.
And he was also influenced by Captain Beefheart.
Yeah.
Very
definitely.
influenced.
Yeah, the vocals that's the one thing I noticed right off the bat. The other cool thing about the album is when you're listening to it, it's mixed. Kind of kind of back in the 60s they would do this, but they would do hard panning. Mm-hmm. So the bass and the guitar are panned to the left, and then the drums and the vocals you can hear really loud in the right. I don't know if you noticed that
called
where you're
hard
listening.
panning.
Yeah, it's just where you put most of the
I didn't know
sound.
it had a name. I noticed it. I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I was listening to it, like when if you were listening with earbuds, you pull one side out. It's like, oh, you can only hear the drums in this. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. So it gives it kind of this separation
Now,
as far as the mixing of the album.
on Cole's coffee table, on Cole's coffee table, we have your record of Wasa Wasa.
Which, thank you for bringing that in.
Which is
I'll
super
take
cool.
I'm going to take some pictures of it.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. I was curious about looking at the track listing. Because I listened to this on Spotify.
Okay.
Did it have?
It should be the same.
Did it have the demos?
It didn't have the demos.
It didn't have the demos.
Because I really like the demo.
Really?
I did. Okay, we'll talk about that later, though. Yeah, it didn't have the demos. That's what I suspected. But you know how we choose our favorites?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. But now that I know the demos weren't part of it, I might have to.
Yeah, anyway, it's cool to kind of hear like the background and stuff of the album. Do you know why it's called Wasa Wasa?
I don't.
I don't either. I was looking it up, and it has different meanings
Yeah.
depending on what language you're referring to. But yeah, I don't know either. I was like, I wonder if Logan would
Couldn't
know.
find
So,
anything on it.
how did you first hear about this album, Logan, or about these guys? I should say.
So I followed this guy on Instagram. I can't remember his name, but he was in like a stoner band, and he was a big record collector. And I remember seeing this album in his collection, and it very intrigued me by the front cover and everything. It was very like mystery, mystic. You have no idea what you're getting into, pretty much. And it was just a picture of the album. There was no audio clip or anything. Mm-hmm. And so I looked it up, and the first song just blew me away. I was like, I have to have this. And so I was looking for a copy, and I found one.
Where did you find it at?
I just got it off Discogs.
Sweet. Did you have to import it from somewhere, or
Yeah, I had it imported from the UK.
from the UK? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's funny to. I'm assuming that the guy on like the left and right, these are the brothers. Is
Yep.
that right? Okay. You can tell the guys with the
tell.
mustaches.
Yep.
That's awesome.
They're like holding a candle.
They're holding a candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's very psychedelic because they got the fisheye lens
Mm-hmm.
on there.
Mhm.
So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
that's awesome. So yeah, you just heard it. What was the stoner band that guy was in? Do you remember?
I think they were called Right Jams.
Right Jams.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's like with the R.
Do they have
RY?
music anywhere or that you can
I
listen
think
to?
so. I think it's on YouTube.
I'll have to look that
Yeah.
up.
You can find that,
And
maybe
then
we can
maybe
link it.
add it
Yeah.
to the show notes. Well, we asked you to pick your 3 favorite songs from the album. Was that a hard thing to do?
It was a very hard thing. It was a very hard thing because there was 4 songs that I wanted to do, but I had to narrow it down to 3.
You can definitely shout out the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your top 3? I'm curious to know.
So top 3 were the title track, "Death of Electric Citizen."
Trickle down diddy. In a trickle wow, it's a stream.
And then "Why Can't Somebody Love Me?"
I'm crying now in desperation. I'm tired of
And then the 4th one was "Love in the Rain." And then I was flip-flopping between "Love in the Rain" and "Evil."
Cries on the line, the bed falls below. It cries a feather with a bone. The circle's spinning madly as they put her to the fire. Evil, evil, all black as night. Soulful burns the backdrop, take the window to the tower. Behind the scenes of lifted, dancing limbo down the line. Watch her body, the bad lights, the salsa in the sky. Evil, evil, all black as night.
It's very like, to me, it's kind of like proto punk a little bit, very edgy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing about this album that's kind of cool is it's kind of they seem like madmen a little bit. They're kind of wild.
Yeah.
You know, and for the time when this came out in like the late 60s, I mean, this was pretty radical stuff.
Well,
So,
and I'll say they definitely have a sense of humor too.
Mm-hmm.
Because in it, you have some splices of them like talking and like doing different bits.
Yep.
And it almost reminded me of this Beatles movie that we just watched. But
oh
Yeah.
yeah, was that Hard Day's Night?
yeah,
Yeah.
just because
Because they're being very silly in that.
they're being so
Very-
silly, and in
very
this,
tongue-in-cheek.
it's a very they're just silly and
I also think that might have to do with just being like, it's kind of a British thing. to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
kind of tongue in cheek kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
yeah.
So they went on to make several other albums. I think, did they go into the 80s or did they just kind of end in the 70s? I can't remember.
Yeah, they went into the 80s
They
a little
did.
bit. I think they did an album. The last album was in like 81 or 82. And then after that, Edgar split from the band and went and started doing his solo stuff.
Oh, cool. So I was researching the band a little bit too, and they kind of were troublemakers a little bit.
They were.
They would get. They would play places in England, and then anyway, they would kind of incite violence a little bit, and then they would get banned from places.
Yep.
And then there was a story I was reading that they gave some people some paint, and then they started painting the venue. And anyway, they were like, yes, we gave them the paint, but we didn't tell them to paint the venue. But I'm like, why would you give them paint in the first place? So,
Yeah, they
they
were.
were kind of bad boys a little bit.
Yeah, they were pretty
Kind of
wild.
punky.
Yeah, and then they would play just like they would do a lot of like random DIY spots. Like they would play a little controversial. They would play at children's playgrounds.
Oh, really?
Kind of.
I did say they would. I did see they put on free shows and things. And
Yeah, so that was part of
Pop-up shows.
a whole movement back then.
Yeah.
Where there was like all these protests going on
Because of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, because of the Vietnam War, and so like a lot of venues wouldn't let them play.
Yeah.
So they would just build their own stages and just play. Like there's some live footage of them playing the song "Love in the Rain" at Hyde Park in 1969, and that's a free show. And there's like, I think it was like over 100,000 people were there.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Speaking of protests, one of the songs definitely I thought was referencing the Vietnam War, probably an American Boy Soldier.
Yep.
I figured.
I was about to mention that.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that's probably like the most like political song on the album.
You think
sure.
so? Yeah.
Yeah. So Court, what were your top three?
Well, now,
tracks?
like I said, if I had looked at the original track listing, I maybe wouldn't have picked demos. But I'll be honest with you, I picked demos.
No, that's cool. You can you can pick the demos.
I really like. I don't know. Have you listened to the demos that are on this?
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is strictly instrumental, and it's just jamming out on this bluesy guitar, and it's called "Untitled Freakout."
Yeah.
And honestly, that's my favorite song.
That's your favorite one.
That's my favorite one. Yeah.
Oh.
I just was getting down to it. I really enjoy. This is outside of my wheelhouse totally. Like this is not like this. The thing I love about this podcast is it exposes me to so many things that I wouldn't normally be exposed to.
Yeah.
And I'm like jamming out to this bluesy guitar. Untitled Freakout's very cool. And then my second one is it's also a demo, you guys. It's Telling Everybody, which I just liked. It's one of the more bluesy songs on the album, and I just really liked it. It's got kind of a dancey rhythm to it, and he's kind of putting on kind of a bluesy voice, and I just enjoyed it. The third is kind of hard, but honestly, I think I'm going to go. It's funny. I was listening to this album at work today with my client. I work with people with developmental disabilities. And so I'm like, hey, I have a podcast that we have to listen to music. I start playing it. And he's like, whoa, this is different. And we're listening to it. And both of us tune in and kind of pay attention a little bit more when the lyrics start talking for American Boy Soldier. Because the person that I work with is a huge history buff, and like we start talking about the Vietnam War, and I was like, wow, like thinking about it, think about the conversations that were happening back then because of the music.
Yeah.
Because if it can, like this many years later, spawn a whole conversation about the Vietnam War just from two guys randomly listening to it, I just think like when it was like the cutting edge stuff, it was probably really spawning conversations.
Yeah. So is that your third one then?
That's probably my third one. Yeah, that's my third one.
Cool. So my three picks, I'm going to go with pretty similar to Logan's actually. I'm going to go with, Death of an Electric Citizen. I love that. That's definitely at his most Howlin' Wolf-esque vocals delivery, which is cool.
The opening track.
That's the opening track. It's a great album opener. And then I'm going to go with Evil. Like Evil's great. And I think those were actually the two before the album came out, they put a 45 out, and that was the double single.
Yep.
Do you have the 45 of that? Because that'd be awesome if you got that.
I don't, not yet.
Because that's a great A and B side.
Yes.
Is both those songs. And then my third pick, I'm going to go with Crying. I really like Crying a lot. I feel like, and when I was listening to, so Evil and Crying are back to back on the album. And when I was listening to it, I was like, his voice reminds me a lot of Nick Cave. Did you guys think that? Or was that just me?
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like, when he's doing that kind of thing, I'm like, I wonder if Nick Cave was inspired by this, because Nick Cave's originally from Australia, and I know that Australia and the UK, like, a lot of things overlap, right? Because before Nick Cave started his like solo thing, he had the band called The Birthday Party, which was very wild.
Yes,
They would start fights.
He was a wild man in that. And so anyway, when I was listening to this album, I was like, it reminds me a lot of Nick Cave. But anyway, I'd be curious to know.
I did not pick up on that.
I'd be curious to know if this was an inspiration on him when he started The Birthday Party. But anyway, those were like my thoughts on the songs. Like my top.
Wait, which one is that one that where his voice is?
Well, it's kind of throughout the album, but I feel like you can really hear it a lot on Evil and Crying. Like both of those tracks, especially like, well, I mean, like on Evil, like during the chorus, it's very kind of operatic with how his delivery. And I don't know if it's kind of funny because the first track I don't know, it's interesting because each track he
picks on a different voice.
Yeah, he picks like a different voice to kind of use to like emphasize the song, kind of. So I kind of like that a lot. I really like on so the first track, Death of an Electric Citizen, I really like the two different guitar tones that he uses. It's really cool, and they pan them left and right, so you can definitely hear each one. I really like the fuzzed out tone that's on the right channel, the one that's playing with the drums.
Yeah.
Like that one, that guitar tone's sick.
For which track?
It's for the first track.
I almost picked the first track.
I think,
to be honest, the only reason I didn't pick the first track was to be different. Because it's a great opening track. It's a great opening.
And that's fine. So, yeah, thanks for sharing this album with us, Logan. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites.
See, and I know we've talked about music a lot, and I don't think we've talked about this band before, so I'm glad that you exposed me to it. It's kind of a shame that not as many people know about them. I was going to ask before we started talking about the album, but do you remember the song or like album that inspired you to start playing guitar?
It's by a complete different band. It was a group, they're called Steel Mill. They're from the UK. Not to be confused with Bruce Springsteen's Steel Mill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The album's called Green Eyed God, and they're known for as like progressive rock. So they incorporate like the piano, the saxophone, the flute. But the guitar on it was just insane. Like even the title track, Green Eyed God, that's just a killer one.
So that's kind of what inspired you to play guitar.
Yes.
Huh? Okay. And then what kind of got you into obsessing? And obsessing's like, I mean it in the best way, but like obsessing over 60s and 70s rock. Like, what got you into that?
Same way I got into Steel Mill, their band from 1972. And then just from there, I just kept digging.
So Steel Mill was the song that got you to play guitar, but also get into like the old school rock.
Well, they were the band that got me
band.
into it, pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah,
so that's like your entry point.
Yeah, that was my entry point, and then I just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Is there a song that you would recommend somebody listen to?
I mean, he mentioned the self-titled song from that
Oh,
album.
it's actually called Steel Mill.
Yeah, Green Eyed God.
Yeah, Green Eyed God.
There's another one. It's called Treadmill.
Okay.
It's about Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I'll just check it out. And yeah, I wish we could. Maybe for the podcast, you should take a picture of your record collection too, so we can share that. Because Logan has an impressive record collection.
Compendium of vinyls.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead.
One thing I wanted to shout out while we're still on the topic of this band is apparently they especially became associated with their single that features a chant-like aspect to it called Out Demons Out.
Yep.
And have you listened to that at all?
I don't think I did, no.
It's kind of cool.
Dude.
It's like a chanty,
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so that song, I believe it was, like they're out demons out, like towards the government.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like an anti song
Okay.
towards the government, and it became huge.
So very politically
Yes.
charged. Okay.
Yes.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention about the album, Logan, before we move on?
Yeah. So one thing I want to mention when you guys listen to the album is if you're very musical and like like the difference between like rhythm pickup and lead pickup in like a guitar, definitely listen to when he's soloing because he transitions from lead to rhythm in between the solos like it's nothing. And me personally as a guitarist, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But like him doing that is pretty insane. And definitely check out some of the live footage.
Sweet. And one of the albums that you had suggested was the Live at Abbey Road album. So
Yes.
maybe people should definitely check that out because then you can definitely hear the live
so
version of these songs.
It's live at Abbey Road Studios, 1969. Complete different song list. Actually, one of my favorite songs is on that album because it's very like reminiscent to like the Stooges.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called Dropout Boogie.
Okay. So kind of like that proto-punk sound.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Very cool.
And it's cool too because there's actually a live audience that they're playing in front of as well.
Also, they had people in the
Yep.
studio?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
every song was one take.
Wow, that's cool.
Nice. Pressure's on, not to mess
That is
up.
very
Yeah.
cool.
And they have a song in there called Refugee where it's just them just like chanting,
Oh, cool.
but like you can hear the audience back and forth.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I will definitely listen to that. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will for sure.
Well, and speaking of the audience chanting and stuff, with that Out Demons Out song, I guess that's what they would close a lot of their sets with.
Oh,
Yep.
that was like their
Yep.
Like
their
at
closer.
concert, because it was like get the whole crowd going and chanting, and that would be cool to go to one of these old shows.
Oh, I wish I could have gone back then and seen them.
No, that's cool that they were so involved in using their music to try to change the situation of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
The
cool.
biggest takeaway I'm going to take from listening to this is, other than that I need to apparently expose myself to more stuff like this, is how dynamic and different the range of he's almost like a voice actor, I would almost say, like
Yeah.
the lead singer, because he totally puts on, like at one point it's like Howling Wolf, at one point it's like apparently Nick Cave singing
I mean,
operatic style.
That's kind of what I hear when I hear
I can
it,
see
but
it now, but
Yeah.
I just didn't think of it at the time. It's so interesting the different voices he decides to utilize.
Yeah, incorporate.
It's very theatrical in a way.
Yeah.
Well, and if you listen to the song Love in the Rain, because that was the first song I ever heard, if you listen to it, it's literally 3 notes.
Really,
That's it.
I didn't.
But it just hits so hard.
It's crazy what you can do
With just a
so
little
little
bit.
when you have talent. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. So, we okay to move on to the next album?
Yeah.
So I was tasked, after listening to this, I was trying to decide, I was like, what album do I pair with it? And like Court said, like the obvious pick would be to go with like Howlin' Wolf, like show something that would inspire these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, no, I'll do, I wanted to do something that was more modern and that kind of had, kind of was similar in like the feel and what they were going for. And so I started just searching different albums and trying to see like what artists are inspired by the Edgar, how do you pronounce the last name again?
Broughton?
Yeah, the Edgar Broughton Band. And anyway, I can't remember how I ended up with this, but I ended up on the Magik Markers. They're an American noise rock band out of Hartford, Connecticut. And they've been playing since like the early 2000s, like putting out albums consistently. And the band consists of Elisa Ambrogio, I think is how you pronounce it. She's on vocals and guitar. And then you got Pete Nolan on drums. And then Leah Quimby on bass. And these guys they got pretty famous because Sonic Youth heard about them. And they actually went on tour in 2004 with them. They later, like their albums later got put on Thurston Moore's label, and then later in 2007 they came out with this album called Boss, and the other guitar player in Sonic Youth, Lee Ronaldo, he produced that album. So they're very connected with like the Sonic Youth world.
Okay.
But I ended up picking the album 2020, just because it was like their newest album, and the reason why I picked it to pair with this is I feel like they have that kind of that explosion that we were talking about, that explosion of sound. They're noisy and they're punky, but then they're also like very like pop centric in like how they write certain songs. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. And then I found out that Magik Markers also recorded at Abbey Road too. So then I thought, oh, that's another like connection kind of in a weird way. But the album 2020 was actually Pitchfork gave it a review and gave it a 7.3 out of 10, which that's pretty good for Pitchfork. Pitchfork's kind of sometimes
sevens are hard to earn with Pitchfork.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Pitchfork's pretty hard.
Remember we interviewed Evan. Remember how he talked about like having to push for some records to get even a 7 was,
or even to get reviewed.
Yeah,
so we interviewed this guy in one of our previous podcasts. He used to be a writer for Pitchfork.
He was like the chief editor.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it was cool. And then I also wanted to pick a band that I'd never heard of before.
I've
listened
never
to their
heard of
music.
them.
Yeah, and I'd never heard of these guys before. But it's crazy because, you know, they're not very big either. So I thought that was also kind of cool. Like they're kind of underground, kind of like the Wasa Wasa albums, a little underground too, even though it's modern. So those were like the things that I was thinking about when I picked the album. And then as I started listening to some of the songs, I was like, oh yeah, like I can tell that these guys are like influenced by psychedelic music, even though maybe some of the songs aren't like, they don't totally sound like it.
Right.
Anyway, so that's how I picked the album. So my overall thoughts before, like I'll give my thoughts and then you guys can give your thoughts too. But yeah, my overall thoughts is, just really wild and explosive. Like I think a cool thing about the album, about the band and the album is the energy that Eliza brings. She's a crazy guitar player and vocalist, and I actually went on to look up some just like live footage of them playing, and she goes like crazier than what's on the album. Like she definitely does some wild feedback type stuff with her guitar, and they're crazy, but really cool live. Like I'm kind of bummed that I haven't seen them live, but if they ever come out to the West Coast, they would definitely be a band that I would go see. Yeah, so I guess I'll share my top 3 songs. I'm going to go with Find You Ride. I just really liked this song a lot. I thought it was cool. Like it's very krautrocky too.
Okay.
Like especially that track. It's very motoric, and they're just kind of jamming on the same kind of rhythm. I like that one a lot. And then my next one is That Dream Shitty Beach. That one's pretty wild. I'm not the biggest fan of, well, I shouldn't say not the biggest fan, but I think it's interesting the drummers doing the vocals on this song. It's like he's very like out of tune with his singing, but I also really like it because this song's also kind of a wild kind of track, and they definitely jam on this song a lot. And then my third I'm going to go with You Can Find Me, which is very more pop kind of influence. Like, it's a very pop rock kind of song. Really catchy. I didn't really understand the lyrics super well, and I was trying to find the lyrics so I could read them, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But I think on this song, and a lot of the songs on the album, Elisa has a really... I love her voice. I think she has a very pretty voice. And...
soft and ambient.
Yeah. And then... there are a few moments on the album too where she makes some interesting guitar choices, like the notes that she plays. Like it's like it's like a little, which I get. Like that's kind of how it goes when you listen to noise rock. But yeah, some of the notes they don't sound quite right. I guess kind of like the singers, but anyway, these guys are very very unique and very their own. So yeah, those are my top three. What were your top three, Logan? And what were your thoughts on the album?
Yeah,
Since you'd never heard of these guys before.
When I got the message to check the album out, I was like, Magik Markers. I was like, this sounds interesting. So I checked them out, and it reminds me very much of like 90s, early 2000s psychedelic bands when they started getting into the psychedelic era again. The first track I really liked. It's very soft at first, like the piano. I just love the piano in it, and then it kind of gets weird, like krautrock rock, progressive rock, and then the fuzz kicks in, and I'm like, oh, okay,
now you're locked in.
And then my second one was That Dream, Shitty Beach. I really like that one just because I love the gallop of the guitar and everything in it. And then the one that put the icing on the cake for me was, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's CD-ROM.
It's just, CD-ROM.
CD-ROM.
Yeah.
That one, awesome. It's very, bass heavy, psychedelic. Kind of reminds me of like early Hawkwind a little bit. Very spacey. That one just really did it for me. But the whole album was really good.
I like this album too because it's like each song is like they kind of go in different sonic places. So Court's making a face. What are you thinking, Court?
I'm wondering if I need to get better headphones. Is genuinely what I'm wondering, because you are describing an experience that I didn't have, and I liked the album, but you're saying like it's explosive and like you're talking about just these elements that I didn't really pick up on. And so for me, this was a very like floaty experience, very like, especially with the first song. And I was like, okay, I can kind of see why Cole picked this because of the psychedelic like vibe, the stonery kind of. But it's so different than Wasa Wasa, if I'm being honest. Like from my perspective, these albums are like two different musical realms from my perspective. I really do like her voice. It's got a very much of a nostalgic factor. Like I said, it's kind of ambient, a higher pitched voice. One of the songs, she starts like whimpering and crying or something, or like bemoaning.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was.
Song.
But.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call.
Okay.
One of the songs, I think that one is called Hymn for 2020. I'm pretty sure is the one where it's kind of creepy almost. Like it's almost like it's dissonant and it is ambient and there's like wailing kind of. Is maybe how you describe it.
Well, I think... Well, when I heard that song and the name of the album, I was just thinking like, well, this was like during
2020 was a rough year.
Like this was like lockdown era, you know? I think that's probably why they call it the hymn of 2020. You know.
So I looked up the genre of the band before. No, I didn't look up Wasa Wasa, but I looked up Magik Markers before I listened to it. And my biggest exposure to quote unquote noise rock was a concert that Cole took me to, which was a band called Melt Banana. And
They're from Japan.
they're from Japan.
Interesting. They're wild.
And that blew my socks off. Like we went to the concert and the reverberations, I can't say that word right now. The reverb of the music just like pulsing. Reverberations just pulsing through your body as this band goes wild on stage. To me, that was like truly explosive noise rock. And so when I was like, oh, interesting. So this is noise rock. And so then I cue up this.
Yeah.
The first song hits you and it's just like mellow, floaty.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Every song's a little different. There's more
That's fair.
explosive songs. And that's why those two, like the first two I mentioned, are a little more like that. And maybe I shouldn't use the word explosive, but I should use the word raw. Like, to me, it feels
okay.
like the Wasa Wasa album, that's a raw album. This is a raw album. It's like there's some emotionally charged stuff in both of them. But they do like she does some like interesting like guitar feedback type kind of noisy stuff. So
I
guess
think
that's
also if I had better high fidelity things that I was listening, because today I just had to listen.
How many times did you listen to the album?
I listened to this one twice. I listened to yours once.
Maybe that's
So
it.
maybe that's
Maybe
it.
that's it. But that's fine that you think that. You're
And I'm not
totally cool.
I'm not saying I dislike it or anything.
I didn't make the album.
I also
You can crap on it.
No, I'm not crapping on it.
just kidding.
The other thing I was gonna say is I had a heck of a time choosing my top three because the reason why, and maybe you'll disagree with this, it all felt so cohesive in
like
a way.
one long song.
Like it was one act.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but I did choose.
Okay.
Should
cool.
I say my three?
Yeah. What are your three?
Now that okay. Probably my favorite actually is the first track.
Oh, Surf's Up.
Surf's Up. Very cool. And we've probably talked about that one enough. But my second is probably Find You Ride,
Yeah.
like Cole talked about. And then third, I'm going to go Born Dead.
Born Dead. Okay. Cool.
Just, yeah.
I thought you would have picked You Can Find Me because that's such a poppy kind of.
And that's the other
Happy
thing. When you
song.
said it was poppy, maybe,
pop oriented, I guess. I
yeah,
should say.
yeah.
Or maybe like indie rock, indie pop kind of.
maybe it was,
Maybe I'm describing it bad, but
would you, okay, this word I'm going to use, you're not going to like this word probably. That one felt almost twee.
twee.
Do you know what I mean by twee?
What's twee again? I've heard that before, but I can't remember.
Like
Acoustic.
here, let me look up what I mean by twee. Like, am I using the right word?
I don't know.
Subgenre of indie pop emerged in the UK during the mid 1980s, characterized by being excessively quaint, innocent, and sentimental.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah,
but
and it was almost too twee for me.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's so.
I feel like I
it's-
sound like such a snob
No,
right now.
it's okay. But it's like that song's pretty catchy. Would you not agree?
It is catchy.
It's catchy. That's
It's
why.
just a little. It was,
That's why I thought you
Yeah.
might have picked it, but it's not a big deal.
but Born Dead is a little rougher and a little
right? Yeah, it is a little
It's
bit like that.
like you're saying, raw. It's,
Yeah.
That's. Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts more because I feel like I've talked for a long time now. But
I mean, like I said, very, very reminds me of like those 90s bands that were getting like psychedelic stuff.
yeah,
Like there's this one band from Japan, they're called High Rise.
Oh, High Rise is sick.
Yeah.
I love High
Very
Rise.
I'll have to
part of
check
that,
them
like
out.
High Rise is like even more noisy.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
crazy.
does like crazy like feedback stuff. And
Yeah.
and that's Like they have that song Popsicle that rules. It just has that bass line that just repeats over and over again.
Yeah.
It's also it reminds me a little bit of Flipper too. Do you know Flipper?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of very similar, like noise kind of thing where they're just jamming on one little thing over and over again.
Yeah.
What does something have to be considered noise rock?
Dude, you gotta have like it's gotta be loud and it's gotta have like crazy feedback.
Yeah, crazy feedback. Lot of reverb would be a big thing.
Yeah.
I definitely am going to listen to this album again with better speakers.
Yeah.
My good headphones were dead. I listened to part of it in the car.
Yeah.
You'd be disappointed. I listened to some of it just on my phone.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you gotta listen to where you're at, you know?
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, sometimes when you're just listening, you know, I think when you listen to it as background stuff, you really aren't thinking about it. So, like, I sat down and I was like, you know, actually trying to soak it in. So
I think the first song lulled me into such a like passive.
like, yeah,
I'm just like, woo,
you're like,
floating.
so you're like the rest of the album.
And then I'm just like, that's how I see the rest of the album now.
which is not, like I said,
Which is not accurate.
like it changes a
Well,
lot.
Born
It
Dead,
does-
like I
goes
said.
different places.
Born Dead's pretty raw.
Yeah.
And pretty, yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't listened to this album or heard about Magik Markers, go check it out. Yeah, it's interesting. And then you can see if you either agree with me or Court. So
Cole knows more about music than I do.
no, whatever.
And is probably right, especially because he probably listened to it on good speakers.
So I'm curious, Logan, do you as far as like your record collection, do you have all of like your records categorized, like cataloged on like Discogs?
I don't.
I would be interested to see like
How many records do you think you own?
to see that.
Last time I counted, it was 800.
So that would be quite the effort to.
We'll have to adding all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I have all mine on Discogs, and I just like add it every time
Which
I buy a new one.
makes shopping for Cole very nice because you're like, oh, does Cole have this record? Let me check
It's like
his.
Discogs,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
At some point, you should because it would be cool. I would love to see like what's because you're always showing me new stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like you're always buying stuff, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any like? I'm also curious. You're also like a super big like gearhead, and I know like you're really into orange amps, and you're always getting like all these cool pedals and stuff. Mm-hmm. Have you gotten anything?
For the listeners
Yeah, what's up?
and me, what's an orange amp?
It's just a type of brand. It
Yeah,
literally
they
has
started in
orange.
like the 60s,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
late 60s.
And is there something that like characterizes them that like
Just
somebody
loud.
who knows they're just loud?
They're
I mean, so like normal guitar amps or
Yeah.
like Marshalls. Marshalls are black.
Yeah.
These are orange. Like they're actually
They're
the
literally
color
orange.
orange.
Okay.
They just have a different sound.
Interesting.
A lot of like 90s stoner bands used orange because of the low end to them.
Yeah, like big, like, and then like loud bands like Sleep and Boris and Sun.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, Sun uses Sun amps. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Sun uses Sun.
But yeah, like those kind of bands, like Sleep,
Because they
use-
appreciate the low end and the loud.
and the loudness. Yeah, but yeah, have you gotten any like recent pedals?
Not any recent pedals.
Okay.
I might be getting a new pedal soon.
Sweet,
Not sure.
that's cool.
It's the Sun O Life pedal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's kind of based off the Rat pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
it's way more than that. It's crazy.
Well, I know that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
But there's so much more you can do with it. It's insane.
that's cool.
No, I actually got a new guitar. One of my dream guitars that my fiance bought me for my birthday.
What is that?
It's the new 2025 Epiphone Les Paul 50 edition. I think
Sweet.
it's standard.
Standard. What color is it?
So it's just normal, just burst, cherry
Okay.
burst.
Cool.
But it's the new Epiphone headstocks.
Okay.
So
it's a little different.
it looks like a Gibson.
Cool. That's awesome.
And it plays amazing. It's got it's actually it's based off of a 50th version of the Les Paul. So it's a higher end Epiphone that's got actual Gibson humbuckers in it, circuitry and everything.
That's sick.
I love it.
That's cool. So I know that you follow a ton of accounts on Instagram. I know that you're like, and it's cool that so kind of going a little bit back to Wasa Wasa, like even nowadays in 2026, like there's still bands that still have the same look, like they dress and they look like these guys, right? They make the same kind of music, and it's cool. And then you have like all these different labels and stuff. Do you have any like modern bands or modern labels that you want to kind of give a shout out that people can kind of look like if they end up liking Wasa Wasa? Yeah, what are some modern bands or modern labels to check out to find more of this type of stuff?
Yeah, so there's a label out of California. It's called Easy Rider Records.
Yeah,
They release a lot
the
of
Brown Acid compilations.
Yes, the Brown Acid compilations, which are just insane. I'd recommend them to everyone, pretty much.
I actually started following them because of you.
Yeah,
And they're a reissue label.
Yep.
So they're always putting out like old stuff that was recorded.
Yeah.
And then repackaging them, which is super cool for like someone like you that loves this type of music to get these like albums that not a lot of people know about and then have them like repress them so that they're a lot cheaper than going and buying like the original pressing, right?
Right.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted. Keep going.
No, you're good. There's another label, one of my buddies out of California. It's called Ancient Greece Records, and it's kind of like a little bit more like just him and like a few buddies who do the label. It's not like corporate or anything or
Pretty
a big
independent.
label. He does a lot of stuff from his home. But basically he, like for instance, if the Edgar Broughton Band had like an album that they never released, he would find them and ask them permission to release it, and he would give them the royalties for it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like cop out of that and just release it without asking permission. And so he started it in like 2019, and he's released some stuff that are just, it's crazy.
Really?
That he's found some of the stuff that he's released.
That's cool.
I'm talking like records that are nearly impossible to find.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
Like he released this one. It's by a group called what is it? Velvet Fog. And they were like a progressive group back in like the 70s, but it's like twin lead guitars. One of the songs has like the flute in it.
Oh, interesting.
But it's progressive, but it's heavy.
That's cool.
It's insane.
Yeah. So what are some modern bands that people can check out that like are kind of like
adjacent to
the Wasa Wasa album that you can think of?
One of them, they're not really around anymore, but they were called Radio Moscow. Very blues-esque, very psychedelic. Another band, more on like, because the song Evil was very like occult-esque, very ritualistic. A band out of Argentina called Mephistopheles that I'm pretty good friends with. And they're like very into like horror movies and dark and creepy and very occult. So very like heavy and fuzzed out, and a lot of influence of fuzz and wah from the album for sure.
Sweet. So yeah, go check those bands out, and I'll link also the labels so people can start following those too. If you want to get into the world of Logan, the world that Logan inhabits. So yeah, thanks for sharing those recommendations. Yeah, I also recommend. They don't do it as much, but Light in the Attic is a really cool reissue label. They're the ones that did all of Betty Davis's stuff too.
Yeah, they actually reissued. It's a Korean guy. One of my favorite Korean psychedelic albums.
Oh, so they did a psychedelic album. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
They're always Light in the Attic's always doing different genres and stuff too. So that's cool. Yeah, so everyone go check that out. And Logan, we need to have you back on the podcast at some point to talk about a movie. You're a huge film nerd. Also
Really?
for
That's
like
cool.
for
Yeah, I am.
60s and 70s horror films specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's cool that you have the movies and the music kind of match up.
We talked about an older horror film. It's to me not doesn't feel too much like a horror. But
Yeah.
we talked about The Wicker Man. Have you ever seen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We also had an episode where we talked about VIY.
it's like a
It's a movie from the 70s.
Eastern Europe.
And I think it's like Croatian or Czechoslovakian, and it's about witches. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, if you're interested, you could go back and listen to
I'll
that.
have to
The
check that
practical effects on that one are insane.
Pretty sick, yeah, for
Yeah.
what they did, and it was
Yeah.
like on a low budget. So
No, yeah,
that's more like folk horror, witch kind of stuff. But
yeah. No, but so your Instagram, if I follow you, you post like recommendations and stuff. It sounds like
I do. Yeah.
I'll have to give you a follow. And what was
Yeah.
that Insta?
So it's heavy_psych_king.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. And
Well,
you've
definitely-
discovered stuff through this, so
well, yeah, Logan's always showing
I'll
me
have
cool
to.
stuff.
I'll have
so-
to follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Logan always shows me stuff that you can only really find on like YouTube, or you have to like actually buy the record to listen to it. So,
That's super cool.
do you have? Oh, I was curious. Do you? What's the main streaming service you use when you listen to music? If you do use streaming, because I know you're listening to physical a lot, but
Right. Surprisingly, a lot of stuff has been on Spotify. But every once in a while, I'll have to go to YouTube.
so you do listen to Spotify. Do you have
Yeah.
do you have any playlists or stuff like that?
There's
Better
actually
Public.
one that I follow.
Well, I'm saying it'd be cool if you made you should make a playlist for like type of bands like Edgar, like his bands kind of stuff.
I have one. I kind of
Okay,
want to redo it.
Yeah, you should redo it, and I can put it in for this episode.
Okay.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
That way people can, because
You
you're
could curate your own.
you're like an encyclopedia for this stuff. So I really
You're like-
want to like share your knowledge to everybody.
Well,
So-
talking to you, I feel like I'm like with the museum director
of 60s and 70s
yeah,
rock
exactly. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we'll have to have you back on for a movie episode. Do you have a Letterboxd account? Letterboxd is basically like it's
it's kind of
It's
like Goodreads for movies.
yeah, it's like an app that you can go on and you can review stuff and give like your thoughts on it, or like make wish lists. And
Cole's really good about.
I've never heard of it.
his-
I'll have to show you it
Yeah.
after we get done recording. It's really cool. I think you would dig it, and you can. I've found a lot of like things I'd never heard of before with it too. So, thanks so much for being on, Logan. Thanks for being in the music scene here in Idaho Falls, and thanks for making the music you make. I think there needs to be more people like you. I think in this area, I mean, it seems like it's pretty much like you, and then like Morgan Selner. You know, as far as like that blues kind of like
Yeah.
heavy kind of sound. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing that, and keep it up, man.
I just think
man.
it's
Keep
cool.
making music.
I just think it's cool how passionate you are about
Yeah.
all this, and
Thanks.
it's super great to meet you, and it's been fun.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Logan.
Thank you.
you ever come across any of these Satanists? They vandalize cemeteries. They profane tombs and, hold black masses. The thing I don't understand is the difference in the bodies. Those have been horribly mutilated, whereas those look like they were intact.
What the hell did they burn the bodies for? That's what I want to know. Couple of drug-crazy maniacs.